Mayong
hapon.
Mayong hapon.
Magandang hapon.
Magandang
Good
hapon.
afternoon, everyone. My kababayans. It is such an honor to be here today and to be surrounded by so many members of our Filipino community from across New England. Maraming salamat, Jeline and PAMANA, for the invitation at mabuhay kayong lahat. I remember that day last year vividly. Our house was buzzing with the joyful chaos that comes with graduation day. I had left early to set up our annual Filipino Harvard graduation reception, arranging Filipino-inspired stoles, certificates, and medals from the Philippine Consul General in New York, Beijing Con Jensen. While back home, my husband was preparing breakfast for our family who had traveled from the Philippines and Canada. Sobrang abala kami, pero puno ng dangal. I imagine many families here know that feeling. It was my 8th year organizing the reception. That year, 46 graduates from 9 Harvard schools gathered. A remarkable growth from the 8 of us who celebrated on our own in 2015 when I graduated from my MPA degree at HKS. Yet, my proudest moment was watching my twin sons walk across the stage. They were born with hemophilia, a hereditary bleeding disorder, and for the first 10 years of their lives in the Philippines, they could not walk 30 steps without risking a painful joint bleed. 22 years later, they stood there as Harvard graduates, a testament to pagtsatsaga, katatagan, at pagmamahal. Then something unexpected happened during the Filipino reception. When the MC called on the speaker representing Harvard College, my boys suddenly proceeded to the podium. In just 3 minutes, they spoke words that have stayed with me every day since, and I quote, "Never lose sight of the history that has formed the coordinates of your path in life. Although they may not fit perfectly into the map of success, those people, those challenges, our Filipino heritage have shaped you more profoundly than any education probably could." Unquote. Those words have become my compass since. When I was asked to speak today about how my Filipino culture and heritage have influenced my work and personal life, I realized the answer is simple. My Filipino heritage has always been the coordinates of my path. Our culture teaches us bayanihan, that we rise by lifting others. It teaches us malasakit, to genuinely care for another person's well-being. It moves us in katatagan, not simply enduring hardship, but finding hope despite it. And it teaches us that education is one of the greatest gifts we can pass on from one generation to another. Those values have shaped every chapter of my life. As a lawyer, I was drawn to public service and so served as a 2-term city councilor in my hometown of Dumaguete City, because I believed the law should expand opportunity and protect human dignity. Whether serving in that capacity or standing alongside communities to protect our coastal ecosystems from a massive reclamation project, I learned that meaningful change is never the work of one individual. It is always the result of people working together for something larger than themselves. Sama-sama tayo, mas lumalakas ang bawat hakbang. For the past 2.5 years now, I go back and forth the Philippines every 6 weeks through Khan Academy Philippines. I have the privilege of helping bring world-class free education technology to now 800,000 learners 23,000 teachers and counting in the public schools across 17 of the 18 regions of the country. Nothing compares to seeing a struggling student in the public school discover, kaya ko pala. Whether it is a teacher using data to personalize instruction, or a child asking our AI tutor Kanmigo to explain a math lesson in Bisaya or Hiligaynon or Tagalog, I am reminded that education changes lives, not because technology is magical, but because every child deserves the chance to discover their own potential and achieve success. In 2022, as the world emerged from the pandemic, I co-founded, together with Geraldine Acuña Sunshine, first Filipino member of the Harvard Board, the Philippine Living Heritage Initiative, because we kept meeting young Filipino Americans at Harvard and MIT, where I used to work, and in the greater Boston area, who knew they were Filipinos, but had never truly experienced what it meant. They knew the food, the celebrations, the dancing, and the language of their grandparents, but many had never walked through the communities their families came from, served alongside Filipino youth, or witnessed firsthand the resilience, generosity, and beauty of our people. That is why every year in the summer, since 2023, through the Filipino Young Global Leadership Program, we bring Filipino high school student leaders across the United States and the global diaspora to the Philippines to reconnect with their heritage through service and leadership. The transformation is extraordinary. They return home not only more connected to their roots, but more confident in who they are and how they want to serve others. In the next 2 weeks, starting July 3, our fourth cohort, 28 students from 10 US states and Singapore, will begin that journey, and I cannot wait to witness their growth alongside my own. If you have any students 15 to 18 years old by July of next year, please let me know so we can invite them to apply to the 2027 program in October. The growth I see in our young people gives me hope, because our greatest legacy will never be the positions we hold or the awards we receive. It will be the people we inspire. Ang ating pinakadakilang mana ay ang mga taong na-impluwensyahan natin. As I look around this room today, I see people doing exactly that. Parents preserving traditions, professionals mentoring the next generation, community leaders creating spaces where Filipino culture continues to flourish. Young people proudly embracing both where they come from and where they are going. We each have our own story, but we share one heritage. Isa tayo sa ating lahi. As we celebrate the 128th Philippine Independence Day and month, may we honor not only the sacrifices of those who came before us, but also our responsibility to those who come after us. Let us continue building bridges across generations, opening doors for others, and living lives of service. And may we never lose sight of the history that has formed the coordinates of our own paths. Because our heritage is not simply our history. It is the compass that guides our future. Maraming salamat po at mabuhay ang Pilipinas.